Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Spontaneity on Spontaneous One. This is the first video of. It's not really going to be an episodic kind of series, but like an installment kind of series of D&D stuff. So this is going to contain characters, monsters, creations, rules, items, spells, just different things that me and my partner think of. Uh, if we take the idea from someone else or like change it in some way, we're not gonna like do word for word, hey, so and so created this thing, this is what they created. But if like we draw inspiration from someone or something else, we'll give them credit, usually verbally and in the description. um, D&D's been around for a long time. If we say something, someone else could have had a similar thought to it. We might have not been aware of that. If so, just like put in the comments. We're not trying to steal any ideas. Uh, if anyone wants to animate these, hey, message us because that'd be really cool. But me and my partner are not that smart and not big enough to hire someone. Plus, we don't like editing, so like that's why when you see me like rub my eye, do something weird, it's never gonna go out of the videos because we're weird. It's fine. Yeah. So today's episode, first thing, whatever. The number one, it's gonna be an item. If you didn't read the title and just clicked on the video. So this is my first D&D item. I created this as a legendary item in a campaign, I want to say like 5 or 6 years back. It's one of my favorite items I've created because it seems broken on the surface, but it's not. It's really fair. And it's something that I'm kind of proud of that I built. So, if you couldn't guess by the title, we're talking about a Phoenix Amulet. So you can have this amulet be whatever you want. It could be an amulet, it could be a ring, it could be whatever. But the concept should stay the same. I've used it as an amulet, I've used it as a ring, I've used it as a tattoo, which I think the tattoo was my favorite version. Just because magical tattoos are really cool. But the magical tattoo is kind of recent, but whatever. So the Phoenix, whatever you put it as, I'm just going to reference it as an amulet for the video. You can put it as whatever. The Phoenix Amulet has a couple interesting properties. Starting off, it being a legendary item, it's not the easiest thing to obtain. I think the most I've had in a world was 2. It's not something you can easily come across. It's something you grab right before the final boss, or someone just has it to start with because plot. The Phoenix Amulet has one specific purpose, and that's to keep the player alive. You can give it to the villain, and it'll be really interesting, or you can give it to the player, and it can be kind of scary. So, whenever the person who has the amulet hits 0 life, now there's a couple like interesting things there. If they have like reckless endurance where they pop back up to 1, or like they don't actually have to make death saves, then it doesn't count. Only when the creature or a creature or person would make a death save does the amulet activate. It has a once per day effect and it recharges at dawn and only has 1 charge, where it will bring them back to max HP, which is very broken. But there's a catch. The catch is for every 10 damage above their life total. So, and also if they just flat out die, it saves them too and it brings them back to max. But for every 10 damage above their life total that they take, or you could change it for every 10 damage they took in that last attack. I've seen it both, not seen, I've done it both ways. People have tried to use it before. It works, but it doesn't, depending on your campaign. I can explain that in just a little bit. But for every 10 damage above the life you take, is a DC 1. Like, you add 1 to the DC for the closest creature to make. It's a Constitution save. So if you have any constitutional buffs, it will help you out there. Because I figured out that makes it a lot easier than just a flat D20, because you don't want what's about to happen. So the closest creature to whoever got revived then has to make a Constitution saving throw. On a fail, they die. Their life total dies. And thinking of like Phoenix, how they're reborn, the other person's burned to ashes, because you can't just have one thing without the other. Life and death work hand in hand. So they're reborn, something else has to die. So the closest creature makes a Constitution saving throw. If they took, let's say, 50 extra damage over their life, which is a lot of damage, it's not easy to do. It's not intentionally made to like kill a bunch of party members. And you can make it more difficult, harder uses, whatever. But for every like 10 damage or 5 damage, I usually run 10, above your life total, you have to make a DC, whatever, a Constitution saving throw. So the closest creature will make that. On a pass, it then moves to the next closest creature, so on and so forth until something fails. Now, it could be like a rat 100 miles away, or it could be your party member right next to you. It's a gamble. It only really becomes scary whenever you take a lot of damage that kills you. The killing blows a lot above your HP. This is why having the boss have this can be a lot of fun and really scary too. Because if you have the party members who are like, I can do 300 damage in a turn. Cool. You just did 300 damage. Let's say 200 above that was above the monster's HP. Now you have a DC 20 Constitution saving throw. And it's not really to punish players. I've had it happen where it killed a player through that, and it was kind of a sad moment. It's interesting. But it's to give the party lastability, or whatever you want, the ability to last longer. And it rounds up. I should specify that. So if you take 11 damage, it's a DC 2. If you take 1 damage, it's a DC 1. Most things should pass a DC 1. And early levels, it's not as broken. It's basically a resurrection spell, or whatever spells you want to call it, to go back to your max HP, and you continue going. It's not at all broken. It's not broken. I found that how I described it is the most balanced way to use it. And it can be really fun to give to the people in your party. Or it can be really fun to give to like a mini boss or a boss or something they find right before the end. Because now this does require attunement. I don't think I mentioned that before, just because it's a legendary item. And I messed up. This is a short story. I messed up before where I didn't give it attunement, and the party members would just pass it around. So the wizard would get it one day, the barbarian would get it next, the fighter would get it next, and it would just get passed around to whoever wanted to be in the front line that day, because you basically just doubled your life points. So there's pluses and minuses there. You can give it other stipulations. One fun thing you can do is you can give it a curse. I think my favorite curse that I thought of was having a phoenix eternally trying to kill you to get its amulet back. That was kind of one of my more favorite ones, just to think, oh, a phoenix is going after a party. You don't know when it's gonna appear. It could never appear, it's fine. Just having that little bit of, risk there could be more fun. You could also have it where people are constantly wanting to get it, because it's a powerful item. Like, you cannot die once a day. It's reckless endurance, but 100 times better. And it's basically giving the barbarian a second reckless endurance. I know I said barbarian. Reckless endurance is a half-orc trait. Please don't crucify me. I haven't read the manual in a day or two. But it's just a trait that will save you. This isn't supposed to be a game-breaking item. It's just supposed to add to it. And no one likes dying. That's why, like, the downside isn't as bad as it could be. Now, something will die, but it's most likely not a party member because, you know, if you're level 5, you should have a constitution of +1. Meaning if you take 10 damage above, you're fine. Because you should then get a 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Unless you run the Nat 1 rule that no matter what, Nat 1's a fail, then I don't agree with that. Personally, Nat 1 should only be a fail on attack. Nat 20 should only be an auto success on a attack. Sometimes I throw it to them if they could never make it. Just 20 should be the best you can possibly do, and 1 should be the worst possible you can do. In that case, if the DC 1 Constitution saving throw, if you have a +0, you roll Nat 1, then that's the worst you can do, and that kills you. But if you have a DC 1 con saving throw, you have a +1, you shouldn't be able to die to it. I don't think that's quite fair. Alright, that's my 2 cents on it. I can give some stories about this in another video if you guys want to see it. If you like these, we can do it more often. You can give us ideas. We can do these videos. If someone wants to animate them, just contact us. We are down. Just saying. We're hoping to do this more often. Maybe with my partner here, maybe he'll make a few of them. Some of these are going to be from our past experience. Some of these are going to be just ones we've come up with but not used. Hopefully you guys like this video. Give us feedback. And guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Wonderful day. Bye.